Hi everybody, this is Just Martin91 and I'm here to talk to you guys about Morbius and giving my 2 cents on the movie. I recently got home and I was processing it for quite some time. I do want to get into this with a very quick uh, point on the reviews and the critics and all that you may be seeing recently. My advice to you is that if you had any intention to see this movie, go see it regardless of that. Don't let other people influence your opinion. Form your own by seeing it. That's it. Now, however you choose to see it, that's I guess, your own. Yeah, but see it, because honestly, if you wanted to see it, it's worth it. That being said, the movie itself went through probably as much development hell as a lot of things did that were made 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, but got halted because of COVID. So, all of these movies, like let's say Wonder Woman 1984, for example, I bring that up because that was one of those movies that I personally did not like at all. And that's because it was a very poorly constructed movie with a lot of issues in. I'm not even going to get into it, but it was one of those movies that I personally found that I didn't understand how they didn't take it off the shelf, dust it off, and was like, we need to rework this thing, and we got all the time in the world right now because unfortunately this is happening, but we could utilize this to our own advantage so we could save this fucking movie. And it didn't do that. Now, how does that relate to this here? It's not Wonder Woman 1984 bad, but it has elements to it that I understand why people would be hazing it. The pacing is not the best. The storytelling is concise, it gets to the point, it's great, but it drags at parts. And essentially, I guess that's what is a lot of ways, that is what the issue is. How Sony is handling these characters, I just find very unfortunate. I think a lot of us were already questioning this a while back, but how are they making this without an R rating is beyond me. The movie falls short because of that. The movie is hurt because of that drastically. It's actually awkward how some things are executed because of the limitations that they're putting on it. So in my eyes, why are you going to half-ass a project like this? Yeah, I said it, and I mean it, honestly. This is half-assed. It's not in the spirits that this movie or this material is intended to be put on screen. They did not justify its existence properly. They did not. And frankly, I find that this dumbed down version of it really just goes and basically does more harm than good. Now, is the story well told? I guess to the best of its degree, yes, it is. The characters are fine. The acting is fine. It's good when the action's on the screen, but frankly, it's one of those movies, and frankly, I don't want to say this for a Marvel movie because the MCU never does this, but Sony, I don't know. If you saw the trailer, you've seen the movie. That's mainly what you gotta know. It of course puts a little bit more layers into it and a little bit more story, but most of it drags to no end, and honestly, it doesn't really capture you. It doesn't really intrigue me personally. It's good that I started this off by saying don't take my review or anyone's review to heart, but look, I found that there was a lot of sloppiness when it came to the editing. The acting was great, and that's what saved it. Even if it was a poor script, I couldn't really tell because frankly, it was taken seriously. It was handled with care. It was by the actors and by the director. But even how the movie ended, I remember just thinking, it ended? This is it? Where are we going right now? And then the post-credits scene happened, and honestly, I feel like No Way Home actually affected how this movie turned out. But to what regard, I don't know, because I tried to, after it came out, I tried to see an alternate version of this movie. How some of the parts that didn't make it in from the trailer could have featured in it. How, like, I was trying to toy with this idea. Essentially, the movie is pretty much coherent. It doesn't have too many holes in it. But the R rating, the non-R rating, hurts it. And it limits a lot of elements that could have made it comic accurate. I find that this could have been better handled. I find that they have more than enough time to consider, to attempt, to regard it, and they chose not to. And maybe it's not coincidental that it was released on April Fool's. So, with that very nice little gist at the end of it, I'm gonna give it a good, I don't know, 5.5 to 6 out of 10. An easy average movie, a fun time, but I don't think it's going to. I wouldn't trust the Spider-Man universe for Sony to move ahead just based on this film. So I really hope that they have more up their sleeve, because frankly, I don't think this is going to perform the way that they wanted it to. I truly hope I'm wrong. And I truly hope that a lot of people are going to go out there and see it, because frankly, people's opinion matter and they shouldn't be influenced by other people. And maybe I'm the biggest hypocrite by saying that right now after I made my review, but it's how it is. Have a good one, guys. Have fun. Enjoy the movies, and I'll see you next time. Bye.